Hello, dear children. Today we are going to study the seventh chapter of geography. The name of the topic is Human Environment, Settlement, Transport, and Communication. Based on settlement, transport, and communication, we are going to discuss in this very chapter. In chapter 1, you have learned that early human beings depended entirely on nature for food, clothing, and shelter. But with time, they learned new skills to grow food, build homes, and develop better means of transport and communication. Boys, in the first chapter of this book, dear, you have learned that early human beings, they used to depend entirely on nature for their food, clothing, and shelter. They used to wander in the forest in search of their necessities. But with time, they learned new skills to grow food, build homes, and develop better means of transport and communication. But as time passes, boys, they have learned new skills, that is, how to grow food, how to build homes, and how to develop better means of transport and communication. Transport means that take or carry from one place to another by means of vehicles, aircraft, or ship. Then communication, it means was the imparting or exchanging of information by speaking, writing, or using some other medium. Okay. So in this way, they modified the environment where they lived. So this way, that means as they have developed, their lifestyle also changes. Okay, as they learn how to grow food, how to build homes, and develop better means of transport and communication, etc. In this way, they have changed the environment where they lived. So let us see settlement. Settlement means actually was where people establish a community or live. Okay, a community and live. Settlements are places where people build their homes. Okay, it is a place, boys. It is those places where people they used to build their homes to live. Early human beings lived on trees and in caves. Boys, early human beings, when people they do not know how to build houses at the time, they used to live on trees and in caves. Okay, like other animals. When they started to grow crops, it became necessary to have a permanent home. As they came to know how to grow crops, as they started to grow crops, it became necessary to have a permanent home. They need a permanent home where they can settle their life, okay, permanently. The settlements grew near the river valleys as water was available and the land was fertile. Boys, settlements, it grew near the river valleys. It is because of water was available, okay, and land was fertile. Water was available, it is because of that region, as water is necessity for life, and for the sake of fertile land also which is available near the river or the river valleys. That's why they used to build their settlements near the river valleys. So, like as you see, Indus Valley civilization, Congo Valley civilization, like that, you'll find okay in your higher classes. With the development of trade, commerce, and manufacturing, human settlements became larger. Boys, yes, that means trade and commerce. Okay, that business and manufacturing. With that, human settlements, it became larger. Yes, that means this trade and commerce, it developed. And manufacturing, also people, they increased their manufacturing. So human settlements became larger. Settlement flourished and civilization developed near river valleys. This way, you see, settlement, it flourished, it spread, and civilization, it developed near river valleys. Do you recall the names of civilization that grew along the banks of river Indus, Tigris, Nile, and Huanghe? Okay, so Indus Valley civilization, then Nile Valley civilization, like that. Okay, do you recall the names of that civilization? And they grew along the banks of the rivers, of those rivers. Okay, like Indus River, Tigris River, Nile River, Huanghe River, like that. Settlements can be permanent or temporary. Settlements, boys, it can be either permanent settlement or temporary settlement. Settlements which are occupied for a short time are called temporary settlements. You mark it, okay, boys? Types of settlements and what is permanent settlement and what is temporary settlement. You must know it. Settlement which are occupied for a short time, okay, which is not for a long time, okay, are called temporary settlements. The people living in deep forests, hot and cold deserts, and mountains often dwell in such temporary settlements. Boys, those people who are living in forests, hot and cold deserts, and mountains, they live at a specified place in such temporary settlements led by them, okay. They practice hunting, gathering, shifting, cultivation, and transhumance. So, those people who lead temporary settlements, they practice hunting, to hunt animals, then gathering or collecting, okay. Shifting cultivation, it is known as pamlo here in our Manipur. And transhumance means the action or practice of moving livestock from one grazing ground to another in a seasonal cycle, okay, according to the seasons. This procedure used to take place, okay. However, more and more settlements today are permanent settlements, but at present days, boys, more and more settlements we can see they are permanent settlements. In these settlements, people build homes to live in. So, in permanent type of settlements, people used to build homes in order to live in. But in temporary settlement, boys, there are people, they used to make tent, okay, and then other means houses with the say leaves of the trees like that, and they used to stay inside that for a short period. Boys, have a look the right margin of this space. Do you know the place where a building or a settlement develop is called a site? SITE, site, okay. Mark this, okay, you must know it. The natural conditions for selection of an ideal site are, these are the natural conditions for selection of an ideal site, boys. The first one is favorable climate, availability of water is the second point, and third one is suitable land, and the last one is fertile soil. So, boys, you get by heart this, okay? This is important. Remember this at any time. It can be asked to you. See here again, to the left margin of this page number 48, transhumance. It is a seasonal movement of people. People who rear animals move in search of new pastures according to changes in seasons. Okay, you must know this glossary also. Okay, transhumance. It was Mary's birthday party. She and her friends were waiting for Gurpreet to arrive so that Mary could cut the cake. Basically, children, you also, what you used to do on your birthday, you used to call some of your friends and used to wait for them, as and when they reach at your home, in their presence, you used to cut the birthday cake. So in the same way it happens, it was Mary's birthday party. Mary is the name of a girl, and that girl's birthday was that day, and then it was her birthday party. She and her friends were waiting for Gurpreet to arrive so that Mary could cut the cake. So she and her friends, they were waiting for Gurpreet to reach there, so that Mary could cut the cake. After reaching Gurpreet, they want to cut the Mary could cut the cake. Okay, now they are waiting for Gurpreet, one of their friend. At last Gurpreet arrived, tired, coughing and wheezing. So boys, at last Gurpreet, he reached there. He was very tired and coughing and wheezing. That means it keeps on continue to him. Okay. So wheezing means breathing with a whistling chest. Okay. Sorry, breathing with here whistling or rattling sound in the chest. She explained that the traffic jam was terrible. So Gurpreet explained that the traffic jam on the road, okay. Sometimes you may observe that, boys. You might observe that. So she explained that the traffic jam was terrible. Mary's mother, Mrs. Thomas, patted Gurpreet's backside. Oof. The pollution in our city. Prasad had recently come from his village. So Mary's mother, okay, Mrs. Thomas, patted Gurpreet's back and side. Here patted means touch quickly and gently with the flat of the hand of Gurpreet's back and side. Side means emit a long deep breath expressing sadness. Okay. Oof, like that. The pollution in our city. Prasad had recently come from his village. Prasad is the name of another boy here. He also recently come from his village. He asked, why do we have such traffic jams and such pollution in the cities? So Prasad himself, Prasad asks, why do we have such traffic jams on the road and such pollution in our cities? The number of vehicles is increasing day by day due to the growing population in the cities. So number of vehicles, number of say scooter, cars, etc. is increasing day by day due to the growing population in the cities. As population, number of people also it is increasing, so number of vehicles also increasing. Mary's father, Mr. Thomas, replied. So it was replied by Mary's father, okay, Mr. Thomas. Mary asked, then why are people coming to the cities? Now Mary, she asked, okay, then why are people there coming to the cities? Her mother replied, they come looking for jobs. Okay, so people they are coming to the cities to search a job, to search a work from which they can earn money, better education and medical facilities. Apart from jobs, better education for higher education and good facilities of medical. Okay, to seek that, to get that, they used to come in the cities. Mary further inquired, if so many people keep coming to cities, where will all the people live? So Mary further inquired means Mary further asked, if so many people they keep coming to cities from villages, then where will all the people live? Mr. Thomas said, that is why you see so many slums and squatter settlements where people stay in congested and unhygienic conditions. So here what happened? Mr. Thomas, he replied, okay. He said, that is why maybe you can see so many slums. Slums means these are those areas where people with land ownership live in poor environmental and socio-economic conditions, okay, and squatter settlements where people stay in congested and unhygienic conditions. Congested means so crowded with people, okay, they are with a great number of people and in an unhygienic way, okay, they used to live there. Shortage of power and water supply are common problems in cities. So in cities, boys, shortage of power, lack of electricity, okay, and uh, lack of water supply. These are common problems in cities. Mark these two, okay. What are the common problems uh, in cities? Okay, you have to say the common problems in the cities are shortage of power and water supply. In the cities, Prasad said, our villages may not have big cinema halls, well equipped schools, and good hospitals, but we have lot of open spaces and fresh air to breathe in. So Prasad, as he came from village, so he said, their villages may not have big cinema halls like the cinema halls of cities. They may not have well-equipped schools. Okay, good to say schools in which all infrastructure is available and good hospitals also they may not have, but we have lot of open spaces and fresh air to breathe in. But there in the village, Prasad said, they have lot of open spaces and fresh air to breathe in. See, in the rural areas, boys, there you will find open spaces, fresh air. Okay, what that means? It mentioned by Prasad also. When my grandfather was sick, we had to rush him to the city hospital. Prasad said when his grandfather was sick was when his grandfather was unwell. So they had to rush him to the city hospital. They were bound to carry him in the city hospital. From the above conversation, we can identify two different pictures of settlements, the rural and the urban settlements. So, boys, from the above talk, we can identify here two different pictures of settlements. There are two types of settlements. They are the rural settlement and the urban settlements. Boys, rural means village areas, okay, settlement of village area, and urban means city areas. The villages are rural settlements where people are engaged in activities like agriculture, fishing, forestry, crafts work, and trading, etc. So the villages, they are the rural settlement. Okay, where people they are engaged. Engaged here means occupied, quite busy in the activities of like agriculture, fishing, forestry, crafts work, and trading, etc. Rural settlements can be compact or scattered. Okay, rural settlements, it can be compact. Compact means uh, uh, packed together. Okay, or scattered. Scattered means found at various location. One house is here, then another house is uh, far away from the first one, this way, which we can see in the rural areas. A compact settlement is a closely built area of dwellings wherever flat land is available. So a compact settlement, it is a closely built area. Okay, compact settlement we have in the city areas, boys. So there in some villages also we have this type of compact settlement, but it is not much. Okay, a compact settlement is a closely built area of dwellings where flat land is available. Okay, in a scattered settlement, dwellings are spaced over an extensive area. So, in a scattered settlement, boys, dwellings are spaced over an extensive area. Extensive means covering large area. This type of settlement is mostly found in hilly tracts, thick forests, and regions of extreme climate. So this type of scattered settlement, it is okay, found where? Is mostly found in hilly tracts, then thick forests and regions of severe climate, very hot climate or very cold climate. In rural areas, people build houses to suit their environment, in order to suit their environment, just the environment. People used to build houses. In regions of heavy rainfall, they have slanting roofs. Okay, so in those regions where rainfall is very heavy, at that places people used to have slanting roofs. Their houses they used to build in roof of their houses they used to build in a slanting fashion. Slanting means sloping roofs. Okay, places where water accumulates in the rainy season, the houses are constructed on a raised platform or stilts. So places where water accumulates, okay, water gathered together, accumulates means gathered together in the rainy season, there the houses are constructed on a raised platform. Then that means raised areas they are used to build their houses, or stilts houses. Here in the picture also you can see boys houses, those which are stand, that means on, say, on pillar, okay, and with plank like that, the floor they used to build. Thick mud walled houses with thatched roofs are very common in areas of hot climate. See, to the western part of our India was, like in Rajasthan, it is common there. Thick mud walled houses with thatched roof. Thatched roof means their house which is covered with straw or similar material, okay, like that, thatch. So thick mud walled houses with thatched roofs are very common in areas of hot climate, in order to penetrate from hotness or coldness, to save their life from hotness or coldness. Such type of building used to build here. Local materials like stones, mud, clay, straw, etc. are used to construct houses. Also, to make the houses, see, local materials such as stones, mud, clay, straw, etc. These are used. The towns are small and the cities are larger urban settlements. See, the towns they are small and the cities are larger urban settlements. Okay, in urban settlements. In urban areas, the people are engaged in manufacturing, trading, and services. See, their occupation is not same with those people who are living in the rural areas. Here, boys, we find in urban areas, those people who are living in the city areas, there the people are engaged in manufacturing to make goods, trading, and services. Name some of the villages, towns, and cities of your state. You can write this one easily, is it not? So do it yourself. Now let us see the second part, that is transport. So far we have discussed about settlement. Okay, now let us know about transport. Transport is the means by which people and goods move. Transport, boys, it is the means, it is the ways by which people and, by the way, goods, things, that means it used to move or it used to carry. In the early days, it took a great deal of time to travel long distances, boys. In the early days, in the past days, okay, when there were no good means of transport at the time. It took a great deal of time in order to travel long distances. People had to walk and use animals to carry their goods. During those days, people used to walk all the way to their destination and used animals in order to carry their goods. Invention of the wheel made transport easier. So, as the invention of wheel it started, it made transport easier. With the passage of time, different means of transport developed, but even today, people use animals for transport. As that means the passage of time, sorry, with the passage of time, different means of transport developed was. But even today, people use animals for transport. Though it is developed, and though people they are using animals for transport. You can see the right margin. Where do you find dwellings made of ice? Who makes them and what are they called? So, this one also okay. In our country, donkeys, mules, bullocks, and camels are common. So, for carrying goods, okay, for that means transport, such animals like donkeys, mules, bullocks, and camels are common, which we use. In the Andes Mountains of South America, llamas are used as are yaks in Tibet. So you see, Andes Mountains of South America, these llamas, it is a type of animals. Okay, they are used, and they are in Tibet. Yaks are used. Okay. The early traders from other countries used to take several months to reach India. See, the early traders, the early businessmen who came for trading from other countries, they used to take several months in order to reach our country, India. They took either the sea route or the land route. Okay, so in order to reach to our India, they used to come by sea route or by land route. Aeroplanes have made travel faster. So aeroplanes, it makes our life see very luxurious one, easy, and within a short time we can cover a long distance. So aeroplanes have made travel faster. Now it takes only 6 to 8 hours to travel from India to Europe. Okay, as earlier days, that means it was taking several days. Okay, but as you see, present only 6 to 8 hours it need to travel from India to Europe. Modern means of transport thus saves time and energy. In this way, boys, modern means of transport it saves our time and energy. See again, see the right margin list the different modes of transport used by the students of your class while coming to school. You have to make a list. Again, see page 50, the left margin. Okay, do you know it asks to you, you get through this one. The four major means of transport are roadways, railways, waterways, and airways. Boys, you mark it, okay? What are the four major means of transport? So, roadways, railways, waterways, and airways. These are the four major means of transport. Let us see roadways in detail. The most commonly used means of transport, especially for short distances, are roads. So the most commonly used means of transport, especially for short distances, they are roads, boys. They can be metal, that is pakka road, and unmetal, that is kacha road. Okay, see there figure 7.6 and 7.7. The plains have a dense network of roads. In the plain area, you will find they have a dense network of roads. Roads have also been built in terrains like deserts, forests, and even high mountains. Roads they have also been built in terrains such as the deserts areas, forests, and even high mountains. Manali to Leh highway in the Himalayan mountains is one of the highest roadways in the world. So, boys, Manali to Leh, okay, highway in the Himalayan mountains. It is one of the highest roadways in the world. Roads built underground are called subways or underpaths. Flyovers are built over raised structures. Okay, flyover, you see, flyovers they are built over raised structures. Here, flyovers, that is bridge with a railway line or road over another. As we have here, this overbridge. Okay, the BT road, on that in BT road also you can see that. So now let us see railways. The railways carry heavy goods and people over long distances quickly and cheaply. It may ask to you was which means of transport used to carry heavy goods and people over long distances quickly and cheaply. At the time your answer will be railways. The invention of the steam engine and the industrial revolution helped in speedy development of rail transport. So the invention of steam engine and the industrial revolution, it helped to progress the development of rail transport very quickly. Okay, diesel and electric engines have largely replaced the steam engines. So diesel and electric engines which were used earlier, okay, for these railways, they have largely replaced the steam engines. Okay, the steam engine which was used in earlier days, okay, they have been replaced by diesel and electric engines. In places, superfast trains have been introduced to make the journey faster. In order to make the journey very quicker or faster, boys, superfast trains have been introduced. The railway network is well developed over the plain areas. Railway network, it is developed, well developed, okay, in the plain areas. Advanced technological skills have enabled laying of railway lines in difficult mountain terrains also. So, boys, the railway network is well developed over the plain areas and advanced technological skills. It makes possible laying of railway lines in difficult mountain terrains also. You see, the railway which is under construction, okay, the railway of Jirbam to Imphal or Jirbam to Tupul, okay, see, after crossing several hills, we need to proceed, say, to Assam by roadways. okay, or whoever want to come by roadways to Manipur, they need to face the problem of these roads. So in such type of roads also, what happen? Many say a person they tried very hardly to build these railways, and it is near about to complete that railways, okay, from Jirbam to Imphal started. Advanced technological skills have enabled laying of railway lines in difficult mountain terrains also, but these are much fewer in number. Indian railway network is well developed. Our Indian railway network is well developed. It is the largest in Asia. Okay, railways you see here. Railway network is the largest network in Asia. That is our Indian railway network. It is the largest railway network in Asia. See boys again. The Trans-Siberian Railway is the longest railway system connecting St. Petersburg in western Russia to Vladivostok on the Pacific coast. Underline it and know it, okay? Now let us see waterways. This is another means of transport, boys. And remember, this is the cheapest means of transport. You have already learned that since early days, waterways were used for transportation. Boys, you have already learned from long back, okay? From early days, waterways were used for transportation. Waterways are the cheapest for carrying heavy and bulky goods over long distances. Underline this one, boys. This is very important. Remember, waterways are the cheapest for carrying heavy and bulky goods over long distances. They are mainly of two types. Waterways, you see, they are of two types mainly. Okay, they are inland waterways and sea roads. Navigable rivers and lakes are used as inland waterways. Navigable, okay, rivers. Navigable means able to be sailed by ship or boats, okay, and lakes, they are used as inland waterways. Some of the important inland waterways are the Ganga Brahmaputra river system, the Great Lakes in North America, and the River Nile in Africa. So these are some of the important inland waterways, okay, in our India. Sea routes and oceanic routes are mostly used for transporting merchandise and goods from one country to another. Sea routes and oceanic routes, these are mostly used for transporting, okay, sending or bringing merchandise means goods to be brought and sold, and goods from one country to another. These routes are connected with the ports. Okay, so these routes, they are connected with the ports, the place where ship, okay, used to stay, or from where ship used to start its journey. Some of the important ports of the world are Singapore and Mumbai in Asia, New York, Los Angeles in North America, Rio de Janeiro in South America, Durban and Cape Town in Africa, Sydney in Australia, London and Rotterdam in Europe. Okay, Figure 7.1, see there 7.11, sorry, 7.11, it should be boys. Okay, so you can see these are the important ports of the world. Okay, can you name some more ports of the world, boys, from your, that means from internet also you can search and you can name some more ports of the world. Airways. This is the fastest way of transport developed in the early 20th century. Okay, airways is the fastest way of transport. It's developed in the early 20th century, boys. It is also the most expensive due to high cost of fuels. Airways is also the most expensive. Okay, it is because of high cost of fuels. Air traffic is adversely affected by bad weather like fog and storms. Air traffic is unfavorably, okay, adversely means unfavorably affected by bad weather like fog and storms. It is the only mode of transport to reach the most remote and distant areas, especially where there are no roads and railways. So, boys, it is the only mode of transport, that is, airways is the only mode of transport in order to reach the most remote and distant areas, especially where there are no roadways and railways. Air transport it is very important here in our Manipur also, boys. Helicopters are extremely useful in most inaccessible areas and in time of calamities for rescuing people and distributing food, water, clothes and medicines. See there figure 7.9. So helicopters, they are extremely useful, okay, in most inaccessible. Inaccessible means unable to be reached there, okay. That in that type of areas and in time of calamities like they are the disasters, okay, and for rescuing people, to save the life of people and distributing food, water, clothes and medicines. Some of the important airports are Delhi, Mumbai, New York, London, Paris, Frankfurt and Cairo. These are some of the important, okay, airports. Communication. Communication is the process of conveying messages to others. Communication, it is the process by which we can convey our message to others. What do we want to say, that we can communicate, okay. So with the development of technology, humans have devised new and fast modes of communication. So with the development of technology, okay, the application of scientific knowledge to practical purpose, especially in, that means regarding this communication, boys, humans have devised means a plan or invent by careful thought new and fast modes of communication. Figure 7.10, he explains the evolution of communication system, how it create, okay, this communication system shows there. The advancement in the field of communication has brought about an information revolution in the world. Different modes of communication are used to provide information, to educate as well as to entertain. So different types of communication, they are used in order to provide information, okay, messages, to provide messages, and in order to educate, to make people qualified, as well as to make as well as to entertain, to make people happy by giving by different entertainment. Through newspapers, radio and television, we can communicate with a large number of people. So with the help of this mass media such as newspapers, radio and television, here we can communicate with a large number of people. They are therefore called mass media, and they are, yes, that means it is to several people, to many people. That is why they are known as mass media. The satellites have made communication even faster. Satellites, you see, they have made our communication even more quicker, more faster. Satellites have helped in oil exploration, survey of forest, underground water, mineral wealth. See, satellites, it have helped, okay, to find out or in oil exploring, an unfamiliar area in those areas, and survey of forest, underground water, mineral wealth, weather forecast, and disaster warning. So in such a way, satellites is very helpful to us. Now we can send electronic mails or emails through internet. With the help of internet, we can send emails or electronic mails, okay. Wireless telephonic communications through cellular phones have become very popular today. Wireless telephonic communication through cellular phones, okay, it have become very popular nowadays. Internet not only provides us with worldwide information and interaction, but has also made our lives more comfortable. Internet, boys, it not only provides us with worldwide information and interaction, but it has also made our lives very comfortable one, okay. Now we can reserve tickets for railways, airways, and even cinemas and hotels sitting at home with this kind. So nowadays, boys, we can reserve our tickets for railways, airways, and even cinemas and hotels just by sitting at our home. Okay, if we have this, you see, if we have mobile, with the help of mobile, promptly we can do that work. Okay. So, boys, with this kind of with this kind of interconnectivity of people, services, and institutions across the world, we are a large global society. So with this kind of interconnectivity, means interconnected or here of people, services, and institutions across the world, we are a large global society. Have a look this map also, boys. One major seaports and airways it has mentioned here. So you must see this one also, okay. So here is the end of the chapter. Thank you all.